Anansi was set out to capture the python. The python was as long as a river and as strong as an elephant, and he could crush anything in his path. But Anansi knew that strength alone was no match for wit. Anansi, always eager to make a name for himself, decided it was time for those stories to belong to him. After all, what use was wisdom if it was locked away? In the heart of the lush green forest of Ghana, where the tall trees whispered secrets and the rivers hummed ancient songs, there lived a creature unlike any other. A creature as small as a pebble, yet his mind was as vast as the sky. This was Anansi, the spider, the clever trickster, the storyteller, and the master of wit. Though he had only 8 legs and no more strength than a feather in the wind, Anansi's cunning was as sharp as the lion's claws and as swift as the gazelle's leap. Anansi's legend has spread far and wide among the Akan people, and they knew that wherever there was trouble, laughter, or a lesson to be learned, Anansi was not far behind. His stories were told at the fireside, passed down from elders to children, for Anansi was not just a spider, he was a teacher. As the elders would say, wisdom is like a baobab tree. No one individual can embrace it. But if there was ever a creature who came close to grasping the whole of it, it was Anansi. One warm evening, ready to claim what is rightfully his. Anansi's first task was to capture the hornets, the fiercest and most dangerous insects in the land. Their sting was as sharp as stones, and their anger was quick to ignite. But Anansi was not afraid. He approached the hornet nest, hanging from a tall tree, and called out in a voice as sweet as honey, "My dear hornets, such rain is coming, a terrible storm, worse than any we've seen before." The hornets, puzzled, buzzed out of their nest. "What rain? We see no storm, spider." Anansi, ever the actor, pointed to the clear sky. "Do you not feel it? The storm is coming. and if you do not seek shelter soon, you will surely drown. But do not worry, I have a solution. Here, he held up a large empty gourd. Come inside, and I will protect you from the rain. The hornets, convinced by Anansi's words, buzzed into the gourd one by one. Once they were all inside, Anansi quickly sealed the top and smiled to himself. He had caught the hornets, and without a single thing. The monkey that knows how to climb does not fear the tree, Anansi whispered to himself, feeling proud of his cleverness. Next, Anansi was set out to capture the python. The python was as long as a river and as strong as an elephant, and he could crush anything in his path. But Anansi knew that strength alone was no match for wit. Anansi found the python coiled under a baobab tree, basking in the afternoon sun. He approached slowly, calling out in a loud voice so that the python could hear. Ah, Python, I was just speaking with my wife about you, and we cannot agree. She says you are shorter than this tree, but I say you are longer. Would you help settle this argument for us? The python, his pride pricked, uncoiled himself and slithered forward. I am far longer than that tree, Anansi, but how will you measure me? Anansi, pretending to think hard, scratched one of his legs. If you could just stretch yourself out along the length of the tree, I could mark your size with this stick. The python, eager to prove his might, stretched his long glistening body along the tree. But as he did, Anansi quickly tied him up with his web, binding him to the trunk. Now you are as tied to this tree as a man is to his own fate, Anansi laughed. With the python captured, he moved on to the final task. The leopard was the most feared creature in the forest, swift and silent as the wind. His golden eyes gleamed like the moon, and his claws were sharp as spears. But even the fiercest of beasts could not outsmart Anansi. Anansi waited by the leopard's favorite watering hole, digging a deep pit and covering it with branches and leaves. Then he sat back and waited, humming a tune to himself as the sun began to set. Soon enough, the leopard came, crawling through the trees, his eyes scanning the ground. He didn't see Anansi, nor did he see the trap. With a swift leap, the leopard fell into the pit with a smell. Anansi, peeking over the edge of the hole, grinned. Ah, leopard, how unfortunate! But do not fear, I shall help you out of this pit. Anansi lowered a rope made of the strongest web. The leopard, desperate to escape, grabbed hold, but as soon as he climbed halfway up, Anansi tied the rope to a tree, leaving the leopard dangling helplessly. Even the mightiest trees begin as a small seed, Anansi called out. And now, leopard, you are caught in my web.